About yourself and what you do, any fundraising that you do for the TS, about Outlook?
Okay. Well, I first started coming to the Outlook group, it was late 90s, I can't remember now, but it was 98 or 99, but I went to Milton Keynes, my first one. In fact, my mum's boyfriend at the time, Jeff, he'd spotted in the Scan magazine that this weekend was happening and had contacted Janet Metcalfe behind my back and presented me with this phone call that I was going to receive from her, and the rest was history really. I was in and went along, turned up at Milton Keynes, didn't know anyone, and by the end of the weekend, I'd got on really well with everybody, and never regretted it for one moment, and I was hooked then. I was in. Got on really well with everybody, had a lovely time, and sort of continued to come from years to come afterwards. I had known, I'm not the only person in my family with TS. My brother is quite severely affected and requires 24-hour care, and my mum has it as well, although she's not as badly affected as myself and my brother Stuart. But so I'm not like some people who don't know anyone else. I did have members of the family. But I did learn new stuff about TS. So people who'd had transplants, people who'd had kidney trouble, liver trouble. These are sort of things that I'd never experienced through myself and my family. We sort of knew epilepsy and things like that, but weren't so familiar with other aspects. So, we learnt a lot of how TS can affect people. But I tend to find, I've come to many, I think I've only missed one, I think the year I did the London Marathon in 2012 was the only time that I missed an Outlook weekend. It was kind of like, it was like a no doubt I'm going weekend every year. There was no way I would miss it. I had to make a difficult choice that year, but decided to go with miss it for that one occasion. It would be a very important weekend to never miss. I'd find that going to the Outlook weekend, it would be with people where, I'm fortunate that I've got lots of good friends who, if I had any trouble health-wise, I've got a lot of people who would be very sympathetic and very happy to listen to me. But there's an extra element, I think, when you're surrounded by other people who have had some experience of the condition. It may not be the same experiences, but just people who know what it's like, who've had some experiences of having TS. I think you don't even necessarily have to talk about TS itself. Obviously, it gets talked about during the weekend, but I find that quite a lot of the time, don't really talk about it, but there's just that extra element of, you've all shared in that experience. And that just gives you, that extra level of relaxation and, puts you at ease with people. That's what I find anyway. I find it very easy to get to know people and chat to people and get on with people. That's just an extra layer of relaxation and comfortableness, surrounded by people who've been through something similar. I know some people find that may have trouble with bullying and stuff like that. I've never really had anything like that, but I still feel that, despite the fact I've got understanding people, being around people who know what it's like makes a difference. And I've certainly found that with the Outlook group. I've made a lot of friends. I've been on holiday with people I've met in Outlook, and of course I've been very lucky to have met my fiancée at an Outlook group, which, of course, I feel very lucky to now be with Katie, and so that's and I've made a lot of very close friends by being part of the Outlook group, which has been incredible. I think I would go as far as to say it's changed my life. I definitely feel that my life would be very different now if I didn't come to that first Outlook group in Milton Keynes. I think there's a lot of people that I've got to know who I wouldn't have known, including the person that I'm going to marry. So it's made a big difference to my life, without a doubt. In terms of what I've done, in terms of I mentioned London Marathon. I mean, I am a keen runner, and I decided to do the London Marathon for the Tuberous Sclerosis Association. Managed to raise about £1,200, which I was very happy about, and I had a great time, and I had great support. I couldn't have asked for better support from all the people I work with, and people my friends and family that I know through the TSA, and it's just I just feel incredibly lucky to know all these people who I would class as my family, as well as I have lots of close friends, and I would class them as my TS family, I think, definitely. So I think I feel incredibly fortunate, and I owe a lot to Jeff, who was my mum's boyfriend at the time, who behind my back got in touch with Janet Metcalfe. I think I owe him a lot, because his action at the time to get me involved has had a lot of implications for the better.
No, it's brilliant. I really admire you doing the London Marathon.
I'm itching to do it again.
Are you?
Yeah.
It's quite difficult to get in, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm trying to go via the ballot at this time, because it's all very well taking the charity place, but it's probably harder raising all the money than it is to do the run itself. So I've got to try and get in the ballot. I can raise money, but haven't got to worry about targets for money.
I did the ballot for this year, but didn't get in.
Didn't you?
No.
Oh, well, it's hard. I've done the ballot ever since I did it first time, not got in yet.
Fingers crossed.
One day.
You can always do the Southampton half.
Yes.
Next Sunday.
Oh, is it? Excellent.
13 miles.
Yeah, I've done Bournemouth Bay Run, sort of down close to where I live, and so I did Dublin Marathon. So I've done a few different ones. So it would be good. But So.
Excellent. Thank you, Andy. That's absolutely brilliant. Thanks for telling us your
brilliant
story.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad you two met. Lovely. Wonderful. As well.